Welcome to QBI, IT Business Analysis Glossary. This glossary contains words relevant to the business analysis profession and discipline. IT Business Analysis Glossary. Contents: IT Business Analysis Glossary. Acceptance and evaluation criteria, action, analysis, ARTEFACTS-BPMN. Acceptance and evaluation criteria. Acceptance and evaluation criteria is a key business analyst technique. Acceptance criteria is a criteria or presence of functionality which must be present in the system to get accepted by the client. Evaluation criteria means the definition of procedure on how you are going to evaluate functionality available in the system. Related words: essential requirements, non-negotiable requirements. Action. Action is the word is used in UML activity diagrams. Action is an individual step in the workflow, whereas entire workflow is known as activities. Analysis. Analysis is detailed examination of components of structure of the problem. ARTEFACTS-BPMN. Artifacts in BPMN are used to provide additional information on the process. Groups and annotations are two standard artifacts. However, modeling tools and modelers are free to add more artifacts as well as for their convenience. Benchmarking, Bizagi Business Process Modeler, BPMI, BPMN, Business Analysis Knowledge Areas, Business Analyst Skills and Competencies, Business Case, Business Process Model and Notation BPMN, Business Process Re-engineering, Business Rules Analysis. Benchmarking. Benchmarking is a popular business analysis technique. Benchmarking is competitors and the best and get inspired with others. Bizagi Business Process Modeler. Bizagi Business Process Modeler is a useful and powerful software to prepare business process model and notation diagrams. BPMI. BPMI is the acronym for Business Process Management Institute. It has pioneered business process model and notations. Now, BPMI is a part of OMG. Business Analysis Knowledge Areas. Business Analyst Body of Knowledge BABOK V 2.0 mentions 6 knowledge areas for a business analyst. They are business analysis planning and monitoring, elicitation, enterprise analysis, requirement analysis, requirements management and communication, and solution assignment and validation. Business Analyst Skill and Competencies. A business analyst should possess a. Technical skills, requirement engineering and management, UML, BA, softwares, MS Visio, Bizagi, BPMN, etc., SQL and system thinking, B. Domain and business skills, domain vocabulary, business rules, business processes, C. Facilitation, coaching and mentoring, patience, negotiation, etc. Business case. Before new projects are initiated, Enterprise business analysts have to justify the business need for taking up the project. To build up the business case, you need to justify business requirement of the project, cost and benefit for a particular solution, losses if any if the project is not taken up, etc. Business Process Model and Notation BPMN. BPMN is an acronym for Business Process Model and Notation. BPMN has got standard and extensive notation to visualize, design, share information about the business process. The primary goal of BPMN is to provide a notation that is readily understandable by all business users, from business analysts that create initial draft of processes to the technical developers responsible for implementing the technology for process execution through a software system, and business people who manage and maintain the process. Another goal is to ensure that XML language design for the execution of business processes such as WSBPEL, Web Services Business Process Execution Language, can be visualized with the business-oriented notation. BPMN elements can be remembered with an acronym 534422. There are 5 BPMN elements: flow objects, data, connecting objects, swim lanes, artifacts, 3 flow objects, activities, tasks, sub-processes, looped task, events, started event, intermediate event, and event. Gateways for data, data object, data input, data output, data store for connecting objects. Connecting objects connect flow objects with each other or with other information. They are sequence flow, message flow, association, data association, data association. 2. Swim lanes are used to group primary modeling elements. There are low swim lanes, lane and pool 2 artifacts. Artifacts are used to provide additional information and about process. 2 standard artifacts in BPMN are groups and text annotations. Business Process Re-engineering. Michael Hammer and James Hampe are widely recognized as thinkers who have pioneered the business process re-engineering concept. According to them, BPR is the fundamental rethinking and radical redesign of business processes to achieve dramatic improvement in critical modern measures of performance, such as cost, quality, service, and speed. There is no emphasis on incremental improvement but on radical improvement. Second, total redesign and not minor alteration in the process. Business Rule Analysis. Business Rule Analysis is yet another business analysis technique. It involves identification and analysis of business rules. Business rules come in the form of legislative requirements, trade practices, etc. Business rule can be classified into operative rules. For example, mobile phone number SIM is not to be activated unless the customer submit a photo identity card, and structural rules. For example, every customer will have a unique customer is. Case, choreography, class diagrams, connecting objects, BPMN, constraint, CRM. CASE. CASE is an acronym for Computer Aided Software Engineering. CASE tool help us to speed up and automate the software development process. Choreography. Choreography processes are defined in BPMN. They are different than more popular BPMN processes, which are known as orchestration processes. Orchestration processes define the flow of activity. Choreography formalizes the way business participants formalize their interactions. The focus is not on the work performed in a process, but on the exchange of information, messages between the participants. Class diagram. Class diagrams are UML structure diagrams. Class diagram depict the main building block of a software system. In a class diagram, we show the classes that make up the system, the collaboration among the classes through message passing, relationship among the classes, etc. Connecting objects, BPMN. Connecting objects in BPMN are used to connect flow objects to each other and to other information. They are four connecting objects: sequence flows, message flows, association, data associations. Constraint. A constraint specifies certain limit on an activity or entity or a process. Business analysts, when analyze the problem, uncover constraints, which can be business constraints, legal constraints, or even technical constraints. To communicate constraints in a standard manner, a business analyst may take help of object constraint language. CRM. CRM is an acronym for Customer Relationship Management. It is used of processes and technologies for managing comprehensive relationship with potential and current customer, business partners, etc. Data BPMN element, data dictionary and glossary, data flow diagrams, data modeling, decision analysis, deployment diagrams, document analysis, domain. Data BPMN element. Data on a BPMN diagram is represented by data objects, data input, data output, and data store. Document analysis. This is an usual business analysis technique. It involves study and analysis of available documentation of the project. These documents can be contracts, RFP, proposal, advertisement, project mission, and vision documents, etc. Deployment diagrams. Deployment diagrams are UML structure diagrams. Deployment diagram model depicts the various hardware used in the system, links between them, and deployment of software onto those pieces of hardware. Deployment diagrams are important diagrams for IT business analysts and project managers alike. Decision analysis. Decision analysis is used frequently by business analysts. This approach encourages you to evaluate various decisions and their possible outcome and consequences. Decision can be made on financial parameters like NPV, IRR, etc., or on non-financial outcomes like uncertainty, lost opportunity, competition movement, etc. Data models is a diagram about people, place, things, concepts important to a process, and their attributes and relationships. Textual descriptions providing detailed expressions are a common practice in data models. Data flow diagrams. Data flow diagrams are all about movement and processing of data in a system. They show how data is input, stored, processed, and output from a system. In a data flow diagram, you will find data stores which collect data, external entities which provide and receive data from a system, processes that transform of data and data flows. Data dictionary and glossary. Key terms and definition are kept in the data dictionary and glossary. An up-to-date data dictionary and glossary leads to common understanding of various terms by all the stakeholders. Unambiguous and clear interpretation saves a lot of time on the project. Business analysts attach a separate section for data dictionary and glossary for every requirement document, RFP, proposal, etc. Data BPMN element. Data on a BPMN diagram is represented by data objects, data input, data output, and data store. Estimation. Edward Jacobson. Estimation. Estimation is all about three parameters: cost, effort, and time. Estimation can be classified into two: analogous estimation and parametric estimation. Edward Jacobson. Edward Jacobson is known as father of use cases. He invented the use case model when he was working with Ericsson. Flow objects, BPMN element, focus groups, functional decomposition, functionality. Flow objects, BPMN element. Flow objects are main graphical element to define the behavior of a business process. There are three flow objects: events, activities, and gateways. Focus group. Focus groups of experts, pre-qualified individuals are formed to uncover detailed requirements, processes, and preferences. Focus groups can be utilized in other software project phases as well. The focus group meets nowadays even through online meeting to discuss preferences, opinions, and come up with recommendations. A focus group can have a moderator and even observer who may record or monitor the proceedings. Observers do not participate in the proceedings. Focus groups are more formal and structural than brainstorming, which may involve non-experts and encourages free-flowing ideas, sometimes even to the extent of impracticality. Functional decomposition. Simply put, functional decomposition is a breaking up and visual display of a department's functions, processes, and sub-processes in a hierarchical manner. Functionality. Functionality refers to the ability of an IT application to complete a task or a business objective. An example can be online issue of a railway ticket on a e-ticketing portal. Gap analysis, gateways, BPMN, government, group. Gap analysis. Often business analysts are required to conduct gap analysis studies and to prepare gap analysis documents. Gap analysis focuses on current state and also chart out desired state. The gap is the gap between the desired state, current state. There can be a gap in capability of an enterprise, so we will initiate new projects, etc. to close this gap. We can be gap in capability or functionality of software being implemented, so we need to customize, develop it further. Gateways BPMN. Gateways in BPMN are similar to decision node of UML activities. Gateways control sequence flows. Notation of a gateway is a diamond. We have several different types of gateways in BPMN. They are exclusive. Only one of many paths will be taken up in the flow. Notation for an exclusive gateway is diamond or a diamond with X mark inside. Exclusive gateways can be database exclusive gateways or event-based exclusive gateways. Parallel gateways 1, many or all flow may taken up simultaneously in a flow. Notation of a parallel gateway is a diamond with plus sign inside. It signifies flow happens in all the paths simultaneously. Inducive gateways has the notation of diamond with zero sign inside. Inducive gateways means flow can be happen in one. Many or all the paths in a flow can be traversed. Complex gateways have the notation of diamond with an asterisk sign inside. Complex gateways can be used for both merging and splitting. Government. Government department, tax authorities, regulatory agencies is a stakeholder on all the large projects. Government may not be a vocal stakeholder when a project is being implemented, but its requirement about compliance, mandatory info, etc. cannot be neglected. Group. Groups and text annotations are BPMN artifacts. Groups are artifacts that are used to highlight certain sections of BPMN diagram without adding additional constraints for performance. Groups are not restricted by lanes and pools. Interface analysis. Interview. Interface analysis. System and applications are assessed and utilized through interfaces. These can be keypad and computer monitors, handheld phones, iPad, touchscreen kiosks, other software and hardware devices which interact with your application. As you study various interfaces which are required, you are more aware of human-computer interaction, data input, output and other functionality needs. Interface identification is the first step of interface analysis. Interview. Interview is extremely important requirements, elicitation technique. A business analyst should be adept in interviewing technique. Typical interview stages are preparation, opening, conduct, closure and follow-up. While you interview, you need to be an active listener. You should paraphrase the information received so that it is validated by the interviewee. Lessons learned process. Lessons learned process. Lessons learned process is a business analysis technique through which a business analyst or a group reflects and retrospects after a project or a milestone is achieved. It analyzes records and documents what went right, wrong, recommendations, best practices, performance improvement measures, etc. Sprint retrospective meetings in SCRUM Agile methodology is a formal application of this technique. Martin Fowler, McKinsey 7S technique, matrices and key performance indicators, most. Martin Fowler. Martin Fowler is known for his contributions to Agile movement and Agile philosophy. McKinsey 7S technique. McKinsey 7S technique is a proven enterprise analysis technique. You can analyze your enterprise 7 parameters. They are strategy, structure, system, style, staff, skills and shared value. Matrices and key performance indicators. Matrices and key performance indicators are a method to measure the performance individuals, solutions, project or processes. Even enterprise have dashboards where they record key performance indicators. MOST. MOST is a business analysis technique. It is an acronym for mission, objectives, strategies and tactics. Non-functional requirements. Notation. Non-functional requirements. Non-functional requirements are requirements like reliability, availability and maintainability, security, scalability. They are also called quality of service requirements. Many a times these requirements are mentioned in a service level agreements. Notation. Notation are standard, visual or signs. The profession of business analysis have got its own notation of an actor is stickman. Observation, organization modeling. Observation. Observation is a key IT business analyst technique. While you observe, you can uncover variance between documented process or perceived process and the actual process. Wherever possible, go to the place of action and get benefits. Observation technique. Organization modeling. Organization modeling is all about record and depiction of organization structure, roles and responsibilities. It has typical organization chart, organization purpose and structure matrix, etc. PESTLE, Porter's framework, problem tracking, process lifecycle, process maps, process modeling, prototype versus wireframes, prototyping. PESTLE. PESTLE is an important business analysis technique. Through PESTLE analysis, you can analyze an enterprise or a project on political, economic, social, technological, legal and environmental parameters. Porter's framework. Porter's framework or Porter's 5 forces framework is proven industry business analysis technique. Through this, you can check current position of your enterprise within an industry. You can decide upon industry entry or industry exit. The 5 forces on which analysis is done in Porter's framework are threat of new entrants, bargaining power of suppliers, threat of substitutes, bargaining power of suppliers, threat of substitute, bargaining power of suppliers and competitive rivalry within the industry. Problem tracking. Problem tracking can be done through various tools like problem report forms, which can be organized in paper or available online. It is a systematic process of reporting problems, issues, bugs, even new change suggestions, managing their status and eventually resolving them. Every problem issue raised is given a unique identification number, its status is maintained and often they are classified as per importance, severity, etc. Process life cycle. Process life cycle as described in business process model and notation has got following phases: design, execute and implement, manage and maintain, destroy. Process maps. Process maps as defined in BPMN are simple flow chart of activities. Process modeling. Process modeling methods include flowchart, activity diagrams, UML business process model and notation diagrams, etc. A process model is a visual representation and sequential flow and control logic of related activities or actions. Process modeling can be done to design a new process or to understand an existing process. Prototype versus wireframes. Prototype have interactivity. Wireframes are static in nature. Both prototypes and wireframes can be prepared by business analysts for demonstration to the client for better understanding about the proposed system, validation of the communicated requirement, quick validation, etc. Prototyping. Prototyping is done to understand requirements better. A business analyst can prepare and share prototypes with the client so that he can think clearly about his requirements. Prototypes can be horizontal and shallow prototypes and vertical prototypes, which are detailed and can focus on some particular process. regulator, requirement workshops, requirements engineering, requirements modeling, RFP, risk analysis, root cause analysis. Regulator. Businesses operate within established legal and regulatory framework of the country of operation. Regulators are established by law to ensure fair practices and by the rule play by companies. Regulators hence are stakeholders to various projects. Change in regulation can lead to change in the offering or change in process, reports, etc. SEBI, Security and Exchange Board of India, regulates financial markets in India. TRAI, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, regulates the telecom industry in India. SEC or Securities Exchange Commission is regulator of financial markets in USA. Requirement workshops. Requirement workshops are formal sessions involving several stakeholders and vendors representatives to uncover, prioritize, reach final conclusion on requirements of the system in question. A business analyst usually acts as a facilitator and recording secretary or scribe in these workshops. Requirements workshop precede extensive preparation which includes selection of participants, informing them about agenda, objectives, logistics, arrangements, conduct of workshop and post-workshop activities. Requirements workshop are an effective method to come up with final conclusion on various issues. Requirements engineering. Requirements engineering is a new branch of computer science. It is a structured and formal process to uncover, elicit, analyze, document, validate, communicate and manage requirements. Requirements modeling. Requirements modeling refers depicting a requirement visually by using a standard notation like UML or BPMN. RFP. RFP is an acronym for Request for Proposals. Often clients, before they award their project to any vendor, prepare requests for proposals, documents containing details about the project to be accomplished by the vendor who gets selected for the same. RFP is shared with prospective vendors who put up formal proposals and if required presentations and demonstrations. Risk analysis. Risk can be of time overrun, cost overrun, quality and service unavailability. Risk analysis is done for individual projects, decisions, etc. Root cause analysis. Root cause analysis technique uncover the source of the problem. It goes beyond first level usually visible symptoms. Root cause analysis methods include fishbone diagram, which is also known as Ishqua diagram. 5. Why utilized at Toyota Motor Corporation is also a proven root cause analysis technique. Scenarios and use cases. Scope modeling, SCRUM, SDLC, sequence diagrams, sequence flow, shape, Visio, SPARX system framework, SQL, structure query language, stakeholders, state machine diagram, structured walkthrough, survey, questionnaire, swim lanes, BPMN, SWOT analysis. Scenarios and use cases. Scenarios, uses scenarios and use case describe the interaction of human and non-human actors. Other applications, hardware devices with the system. It captures actor, goals, stimuli, response, etc. Scope modeling. Sequence diagrams are UML behavior diagrams. Sequence diagram show the sequence of interaction between various system objects, that is, between end user, keyboard, screen, application engine, database, etc. SCRUM. SCRUM is one of the popular agile process frameworks. When we follow Scrum methodology for our software projects, the software is prepared in an iterative manner. Every iteration is called a sprint. Scrum has got 4 formal meetings: sprint planning, daily Scrum, sprint reviews. Sprint retrospectives word is taken from the game of rugby. SDLC. SDLC is an acronym for Software Development Lifecycle. There are several software development lifecycle methodologies including waterfall, iterative, etc. Today, agile methodologies, which are a type of iterative methodology, have gained popularity. Example of agile methodologies are Scrum and extreme programming. Any software development project, irrespective of methodology, will have phases like analysis, design, development, testing, and implementation. Sequence diagrams. Sequence diagrams are UML behavior diagrams. Sequence diagram show the sequence of interaction between various system objects, that is between end users, keyboard, screen, application engine, database, etc. Sequence flow. A sequence flow is one of the 4 BPMN connectors element. Other BPMN connectors are message flow, association, and data association. A sequence flow shows the order in which activities are performed in a BPMN diagram. A sequence flow connects activities, events, gateways, and nothing else. A sequence flow cannot cross boundaries of a sub-process or a pool. Shape. Visio. Visio diagrams have various shapes connected to each other. You can drag and drop a Visio master shape from a Visio stencil to the Visio diagram. Shapes are connected with each other through connectors. Shapes have several attributes which can be checked or modified at the shape sheet window. Visio shapes can be flipped and rotated with following details. Ctrl plus L, rotate 90 degree to the left counterclockwise. Ctrl plus R, rotate 90 degree to the right. Ctrl plus J, flip shape vertically. Ctrl plus H, flip shape horizontally. To flip a line so that it ends and reverse, you have to choose the shape and operations. Reverse ends. To move a shape by a pixel at a time, either up, down, left or right, is known as nudging a shape. It is done by selecting the shape and then pressing the up, down, left or right keys. Several shapes in a Visio drawing can be grouped by Shift plus Control plus G keys or ungrouped Shift plus Control plus U keys. SPARX Systems Framework. SPARX System Framework is a business process analysis framework put forward by SPARX System. This is the same company which has developed Enterprise Architect software. The framework says every process has got input, series of repeatable steps. It consumes resources, has got an output and a goal. SQL, Structured Query Language. SQL or Structured Query Language is an American National Standard Institute, ANSI, adapted standard programming language for managing data in a relation database management system. Overview of SQL and SQL commands is a must-know of business analysts. Stakeholder. Stakeholders for a project are those individuals or groups who are affected by outcome of the project. Stakeholder analysis is a typical business analyst activity. Stakeholder analysis includes steps like stakeholder identification, stakeholder classification, and stakeholder engagement. State machine diagram. Entities in a system or a business process within a system move from one state to another. A state is reached when the entity in question satisfies certain conditions or achieves certain parameters. An entity can reside in a particular state for an insignificant time to an indefinitely long period. State machine diagrams, which are UML behavior diagrams, capture the flow between states. Structured walkthrough. It is a technique to communicate, verify and validate requirements. Sometimes, after requirements document has been prepared, the stakeholder may not be at ease to comprehend it fully. Sometimes it is due to lack of expertise. Sometimes it can be due to some other preoccupation or lack of attention. Structured walkthrough sessions are a remedy to this. It is a working session in which participants review the requirements the business analyst explained to them. A walkthrough may lead to requirement document revisions. Various roles in a structured walkthrough meetings are author, scribe, moderator, peer and reviewer. Structured walkthrough can be utilized in other phases including release, demonstrations, etc. Survey questionnaire. Survey questionnaire is a proven requirements elicitation technique. Whenever respondents or stakeholders are geographically dispersed or are in large numbers, this is a good technique to deploy. Online questionnaires and surveys are also gaining popularity. Survey questionnaire, however, may lack personal touch and senior respondents may feel that they are not being provided with adequate attention or importance. Swim lanes BPMN. In BPMN, primary modeling elements can be grouped through swim lanes. Swim lanes are of two types, land and a pool. Participants in BPMN process are shown in two different pools. SWOT analysis. This is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats analysis. Task management and execution, business analyst role, text annotation, BPMN, TOGAF, Toyota A3 report. Task management and execution, business analyst role. As a software project reaches the software testing phase, a business analyst may be involved in task management and execution, user acceptance testing, etc. As the BA best understand the business's requirement of the project, essential requirements, etc. His role in task management and execution is quite important. Text annotation BPMN. Text annotation in BPMN diagrams are used to provide additional information. These are like comments and explanations drawn inside an open rectangle. Text annotation objects are connected to other BPMN objects through an association. TOGAF. TOGAF is an acronym for the Open Group Architecture Framework. It is an important enterprise analysis framework. Toyota A3 report. Toyota A3 report is a good project status reporting technique. Through this technique, you can report the status of your project on a single A3 sheets of paper. The standard Toyota A3 report format has sections like theme, background, current condition, target condition, implementation, plan and follow-up. UML, underlying competencies of Business Analyst, BABOK V 2.0. Use case diagrams. UML, UML is acronym for Unified Modeling Language. UML is a standard for visually capturing and communicating requirements. It has become lingua franca, common language of the business analyst profession. The promise of UML is in easy and superior specification and unambiguous communication. UML has got two main types of diagrams, structure diagrams and behavior diagrams. Underlying competencies of business analyst, BABOK V2.0. Business Analyst Body of Language BABOK V2.0 lists underlying competencies of a business analyst in 6 areas and several sub-areas within these 6 areas. They are: first, analytical thinking and problem solving; creative thinking, decision making; learning, problem solving, system thinking. Second, behavioral characteristics, ethics, personal organization, trustworthiness. Third, business knowledge, business principles and practices, industry knowledge, organization knowledge, solution knowledge. Fourth, communication skills, oral communication, teaching, written communication. Fifth, interaction skills, facilitation and negotiation, leadership and influencing, teamwork. Sixth, software applications, general purpose applications, specialized applications. Use case diagrams. Use cases can be the starting point of requirements process. Use cases capture the interaction of human and non-human entities called actors with the system. Through use cases, as a business analyst, you can identify the key functionality of the system. Use case notations are actor, stickman, use case, ellipse, system boundary, rectangle, association and relationships. Vendor assessment, Visio pages. Vendor assessment. In an era of outsourcing and collaboration, vendor assessment is a key business analysis technique. The prime objective is to select the vendor who is capable of delivering the promises and who is also best fit for your enterprise requirement, visions and objectives. Visio or Microsoft Visio is powerful visualization and diagramming software from Microsoft. It is a very useful tool for IT business analysts. IT business analysts can use Visio to prepare UML diagrams, wireframes, BPMN diagrams, flowcharts, block diagrams, etc. Diagrams from Visio can be embedded, linked in your business requirement, documents, etc. Visio pages. Visio has got two types of pages, foreground pages and background pages. One background page can be linked to several background pages for standard look and feel. Wireframes, WSBPEL. Wireframes. Wireframes are simple line drawing or skeletal drawings which display location of various elements on a web page or application page. Wireframes are utilized for elicitation, validation by business analysts. Wireframing is popular BA technique to develop web applications and websites. Wireframes provide the structure of the application, site, service. It can also display navigation between two pages. Simple wireframes can even be sketched through pencil on a piece of paper. MS Visio can be used as a wireframing tool. Other popular wireframing software include IPLOT, Pencil, Project, Template R, Kirata, Software, etc. WSBPEL. WSBPEL is an acronym for Web Services Business Process Execution Language. XML. XML is an acronym for Extensible Markup Language. ZACHMAN'S framework. ZACHMAN'S framework. ZACHMAN'S framework is a popular enterprise analysis framework. Through ZACHMAN'S framework, you can analyze an enterprise across 6 dimensions: data, function, network, people, time, and motive. With 6 views: planner, process owner, designer, builder, integrator, and users. Thank you. QBI IT Business Analysis Glossary. This glossary contains words relevant to the business analysis profession and discipline.